Hey Stormers, we've got a little change of pace today. I know we're in the middle of an Arkham Horror run through, but I thought I would give this a little shot using a solo variant I found online. This is Oh My Goods. I know there is an expansion or a couple of expansions to this, one of which does include solo play. At the moment I only have this one. As I said, I found a solo variant online, which I'll try and put a link to. I can't remember who actually created it, but I will try and look that up and put a link in the description, or maybe even up here somewhere. Probably not. I don't think that works. Okay, so this basically gets set up similar to the multiplayer game. What's the difference? Yep, you may ask. Well, first of all, the same as the solo player, same as the multiplayer game, we randomly choose our char burner to start, and we draw our cards. A starting hand. The assistants, we can actually choose 2 assistants to start. We can't use these, we still have to fulfill the criteria, but they're the ones we can choose to buy once we have the cash. The rest are just left to one side, and as we use an assistant, we just randomly choose another one to get added to the pool that we can buy from. That's one change. The second change is this is a game of a finite number of turns, this being 10. This is accomplished by the main deck of cards we draw from. We first of all draw 20, and as part of the new hand phase, when we draw 2 cards, we actually draw them from this deck. If you get a special action that lets you draw 3 cards, then you draw your 3rd card from the normal deck. But basically 20 cards here, 2 cards per turn creates a 10-round game. So it's essentially just a solo game where each time you play, you try and beat your score. So there won't be a lot of strategy in this because I'm trying to record it, and I don't think I've got the brain power to do recording and try and make a perfect game, but we'll see how we get on. So I've already drawn our first cards, which are there. What have we got? We've got is that the coal? It's not the coal, it's, I actually don't know what a lot of these icons actually mean, but sort of stone or something. I'm assuming that's water or milk. Wheat is clear, wheat. So we've got 5 cards there. So we move to the first part of the game, which is the new hand cards. At the moment we don't know what we're doing, so we'll just leave these cards. Well, okay, let's check what we've got for our char burn. It's the only building we've actually got in play at the moment. So we'd need 1 wood and 2 brick by the look of it. We don't have any wood or any brick in our hand. So what we can do as part of the normal rules, we can discard either our whole hand, well, basically, no, only our whole hand. We can't discard part of our hand, we can only discard the whole hand. So we'll discard the whole hand. We'll draw out 5 new cards, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll lay them here. Okay, so we've got some wood. Oh, that was a better draw by the look of it. So we've got two of the resources we need for the char burner. I've already put as per the starting criteria, the 7 cards on the char burner at the moment, which gives us 7 points or 7 gold or whatever you want to call them. So now we draw an additional 2 cards. As I said, these come from this deck, which is let's call it the timer deck, and oh, they're upside down. So okay, that's working out quite well. So essentially we've got everything we need to build on the char burner. Obviously we don't want to use those cards, we'd rather use them from the marketplace. So we move to the first, what is the round called? Sunrise. So if you're familiar with the rules, what happens is we go to our main deck and we draw cards for the market. And what we're looking for is, okay, that's good for us. Well, to show you what we do, no sun, so essentially this is the morning market phase, so this is working out quite well for us at the moment. Very well. Basically what happens here is when you get this icon, this is half a sun, When you've drawn 2 cards with these on, that's the end of the market phase. For okay, right, there we go. So now that's the morning market phase completed because we've drawn 2 half suns. So this is what we can use to fulfill our building criteria. So clearly, what do we need? We need 2 brick, I think that is, and 1 wood. What have we got here? Well, we've got 3 wood here. We've got 1 brick here. We know we can fulfill from our actual hand of cards. So now we choose where to put our worker. Okay, well, our worker, clearly we know we can do a good job. So we'll put our worker here, meaning we get 2 cards to add to our hand if we fulfill the criteria for that building, which we know we can do. We also have to decide what building, if any, we want to build next. So, well, we can't do any assistance because we haven't got the buildings built yet. So let's try and work our way towards maybe getting the buildings, like, so we'd need 2 red buildings or 2 yellow buildings to be able to buy these assistants. We don't need a wheat at the moment, so what can we do? We know we've got 7 cards in here and they're all worth 1 each, so we've got 7. We know we're going to get another 2, that'll be 9. So potentially we know at the end of the round we could build this one here. That is a lot of money though. This one might be better for us because if we get more bricks we can actually, is it stone? Maybe that's bricks. Oh, it's brick manufactured, so this must be stone or clay or something. So maybe we should go for this one, it's nice and cheap. Okay, let's do that. So this basically is the building we want to build this turn. We'll just put that there so we know that's what we're going to do. So we've chosen our building, we've chosen where our worker's going to go. So we move on to the evening, or the sunset phase. So the market continues to be drawn. Oh, we've already drawn 1 sun until we draw 2 half suns. And there we go. So the sunset phase of the market is a lot smaller than the sunrise phase. But having said that, it still gives us what we need. So now we go to production and buildings, say in the rule book. I've got the rule book by the side of me because I'm not completely familiar with this game yet. So what can we do? We've fulfilled the criteria for the char burner, and we can do this just by using the community, let's call these community cards if you like. It's a bit like, let's say, like Texas Hold'em, you know? If you're playing a multiplayer game, everybody gets to use these cards. They don't get removed from the table, but everybody is able to utilize these cards, and then obviously you can utilize the cards in your hand. So very similar to poker, Texas Hold'em that way. So we need 2, let's call them clay. So we've got 2 clay there, we've got a wood there, no problem. We fulfill the criteria for this building. So that gives us, we take these from the normal deck, that gives us an additional 1, 2 on our chart burner. So we know we're up to 9 gold there. So that's the end of the production phase, unless we want to do any chain, what's the word? What's it called? Production chain. Now that means we can, if we've got any wood in our hand, we can actually turn it into coal as well. We do have wood. For the sake of 1, I think we'll just leave that. We'll keep it in our hand. So that's basically the end of that round. Almost. Hold on, I'm skipping ahead of myself. Let's get rid of the market, and we are going to build the, what is it? The brick manufacturer. So we'll sling that there. It's going to cost us 2 to build. So we know we take, for the char burner, every card on there is worth 1. So we'll discard those. And that is now the end of the round. So we still haven't got enough to be able to buy any assistance. So we'll just move. Although, by the way, if you can either decide to build a building or buy an assistant. We bought a building because we don't have the criteria to build. Why I keep saying build, to buy assistance at the moment. So we move on to round two. First part of round two, do we want to discard any of our, do you want to discard our hand and get another hand? Well, looking at the, let's see, what do we need there? We need the stone and brick. We need 3 of these stone things, which we don't have at the moment. We only have 1. So we don't have to decide yet. What we can do is we can draw our additional 2 cards. Remember, these come from the timer deck. So let's stick those there. Okay, that's good. So we've got 1, 2. Essentially at the moment, we can almost fulfill the criteria for this building, and everything on here is worth 2. So we need to choose what building we're going to work in. So let's take a risk and we'll say we're going to build in this one. Just as an aside, you can either choose with your worker to do a proper job, a good job, or you can do a sloppy job, which means you have to just place minus whatever the resources are required. You can do 1 less, but you only get 1 card as a reward for that. We're pretty sure we can probably get this with 2 and fulfill the whole criteria. So that's what we'll do. Building wise, well, we don't want to utilize this and this because we need that. So let's go for the cattle ranch, because if we can get that into play, then it means we can buy the system. So we'll say we're going to do that, and we're going to produce from our brick manufacturer. Okay, so now we move to the sunrise market phase. So let's see what we've got here. We've got a wheat. Okay, that's good. We've got a stone. We've got a wood. I mean, we're only looking at these at the moment. That's all we're interested in. And of course, the sunrise icon. This is pretty good, actually. We're getting a huge market here. Okay, nothing so far. Okay, there's our first half a sun. And there's our second half a sun. Yeah, I did that wrong, actually. We don't have to decide. Okay, I've skipped ahead. We don't have to decide where to put this until we've done the first market phase. So anyway, it's not going to change. We're going to stay here, and we're going to keep the same building. So apologies for that. I shouldn't have put those in play before we did the first market phase. It's a mistake I keep making for some reason. Okay, so we're not going to change what we're doing. We're definitely going to stay there. I think we've got basically 1, 2, we need 3 of the stone, and we need 1 of the, let's say, clay, and that's it. I mean, we can fulfill that because we've got another stone in our hand. So worst comes to worst, if one doesn't come up in the market, in the second market phase, then we can still build it. So let's go to the second market phase. Okay, there's 1 sun, and there's another sun, another short evening market phase. So what do? We can utilize, based upon this, we need 3 stone and 1 clay. Okay, so we've got 2 stone there, we've got a clay there in the like the community, in the market itself, and we will have to take a stone from our hand. So we can either take this one or this one. They're pretty much the same. Since we've got the brick manufacturer in play, let's keep this one, because we can try and build this at some point, which always gives us, we can add an additional stone to the market display. So let's get rid of this one. So we discard that into our discard pile. That means we fulfill the criteria for the brick manufacturer, or the brick manufacturer, which means we can add 2 on there, and bear in mind these are worth 2 gold each, so we've got 4 gold on there, and we will build the cattle ranch. So we need 6 for the cattle ranch. So we can, I tell you, before we do that, let's just go and do the production chain. to get some more money on here. This means we can add anything, if any building that's produced, we can add from our hand any resource of this type, which is the clay, straight onto here. As long as it's a building that's produced this round, so it's got to be this building. We do have a clay here, so we'll take that clay and we'll put it onto there. So that gives us 6 there. So now we will do our building. We're going to build the cattle ranch, as we said. So it's going to cost us 6, and we will take all 6 from, oh, basically they're worth 2 each. So we'll take 3 from here, which is 6, to pay for our building. Now that gives us 2 red buildings built, which means next round, if we want, we can actually buy a assistant. So we'll discard that. We will collect up the market. Discard the market and move on to the next round. So first of all, do we want to swap any of our, oh sorry, why is that? Do we want to swap our hand for something else? Well, what have we got? Well, we need 2 wheat for there, and we need 2 stone. Now we've got 2 wheat and 1 stone in our hand already, so let's just keep the hand as it is and redraw from the timer deck, or draw from the timer deck, and add those there. Oh, it's okay, that's good. So we've already got, if we need to, we can already fulfill, if we choose to use this building, we can fulfill everything on here from our hand. Obviously we don't really want to do that, we'd like to get something in the market. So before we do anything else, we will draw the sunrise market. So, okay, 1, oh, this is going to be a short market maybe. 2, okay, the market is over for the morning. So what have we got? We've got 2 wood and I always call that ice cream, but it's not. I think it's milk or dirty washing or something. Anyway, so I think we'll stick with our original plan, because we get 3. If we fulfill this, we get 3 coins per resource on here. So let's say, yeah, we're going to put the worker here, our worker, and we're going to go to get 2 cards. We're going to try and fulfill the whole contract, or the whole production, which means, what building are we going to try and build next turn? Now, if it all goes wrong in the marketplace, we're going to need 2 stone. We've already said we're going to keep this one, so let's keep this one out of the way. We're definitely going to keep that. We're going to need that. We're going to need that if the market doesn't help us out, and we're going to need either that or this. Okay, well, we don't know at the moment. It's unfortunate, because it would be nice to be able to build yellow, which would have got us halfway towards being able to buy this assistant as well. But anyway, it doesn't really matter, because this round we're not going to build anything, I don't think. We have to choose, but I think we'll end up buying an assistant. So let's just, for the sake of it, let's just say we're going to build this, even though we know we're not going to probably build anything. So we'll put that there. Okay, so we've decided this is what we want. So we, excuse me, we need to see some stone and we need to see some wheat. So second part of the market. Okay, no stone so far. Oh dear, no stone. Okay, there's 1 stone. There's another stone. Okay, looking good so far. Still no sun. Okay, there's the first sun, but no wheat. There's the dirty laundry / ice cream / milk / water. Okay, there we go. So we got half of what we wanted. So to build on this building, or to produce from this building, we need 2 stone and 2 wheat. We can take the 2 stone from the market display, so that's fine. But we're going to have to take and discard the 2 wheat from our hand. So that is what we'll do. That means that we managed to produce in the cattle ranch. So we take 2 cards. Remember, these are worth 3 each. So we take 2 cards and put them on the cattle ranch. Now, unfortunately, if we got wheat, we could have used that as part of the production chain, but we utilized the wheat to actually produce. So unfortunately, we've got no wheat left. Okay, so that's the end of the production phase. We're not going to do a building. What we are going to do is to buy this assistant. Now let me just double check. I think if we buy the assistant, we can pay. You would pay the coins, and we always have buildings in the colours depicted. You can play. Okay, so we can place the assistant at any building. Okay, so we need to buy him first. It's going to cost us 4. So we'll take from the char burner 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've done that. We discard onto the discard pile, and we will place the. Now, where should we put him? We can put him anywhere. If we ever want to move it, it costs us 2 to move him. Let's put him on. Let's put him on here, on the brick manufacturer, because then if we want to do the cattle ranch with our worker, we've always got the option of, maybe not. Maybe we should put him here. And then if we ever need to put a worker on here, then at least we've got the option of only using 2 stone if we decide to build sloppily. So let's do that. Let's bring our worker back. Okay. Let's put the market back in the discard, and the building we didn't build, we will put back onto our display. Okay, I think my camera's about running out now, so we'll put a halt to it there, and we'll come back in the next round. Okay, bye for now.